Welcome back to another video arrangement breakdown, project breakdown. Today we're doing Slow Burn, which is, I think there's probably quite a lot to unpack in this one, so let's crack straight on. Originally called Looper because it loops a lot, hence that title up there. A huge project actually. Look at all those tracks. Oh my god. It's just a lot of layers of the same thing, to be fair. So the top of the tune, obviously big synth patch vibe.
Living on a rock, try be happy, but stacking.
We called it the Hug. So in the studio, Ollie had originally written this on the piano, but what he really wanted was a synth sort of hug sound, a big warm sounding thing. The reference track was this track by Radiohead, which is very cool sound. Didn't copy it directly, but that sort of, if you listen to that track, it really surrounds you and feels very close and warm. So this is what I tried to create with this sound here. There's a lot of modulation, a lot of pitchy bits going on. Sounds quite organic, I think. And a bit of a new territory for Bear Jams, really, doing big synthy intro, which is quite nice, quite refreshing. There's a lot of automation going on, so I don't think it's in this project actually. I think it was in the production project. This is the mix project, but so automating meaning changing parameters of the synths, changing the controls, like the filters or the pitch or the detunedness of it, and also the amount of reverb on certain bits, so that it kind of really bobbles. It bobbles, it's like a cloud that's kind of constantly shifting, which I think is a really nice thing. Then we've also got some electronic drums at the start, really thin sounding, understated, and the vocals are sitting on top.
Sometimes you need a friend just to vent out, just to let go, help to clear the air. So I was thinking,
and then obviously
that this evening
bass and drums
maybe be then.
Of course they do.
There's sometimes I've looked and I can't see light, but I'm so.
Admittedly, the kick is very filtered and not really there. But the vocals get doubled at this point as well, just to slightly add a bit of weight.
There's sometimes I've looked and I can't see light, but I'm so sure
So vocals before,
clear the air. Sometimes I've looked
vocals
and I
after.
can't see light, but I'm so
Just a bit thicker.
sure I caught a silver line when it's pouring rain and there's so few flowers and you feel that spring's running late. I'm sure she'll find her way. So close now.
And then the Tarzan moment. Let's break this chorus down. So obviously fat drum fill in. Da-da-boom. Into the groove. And the chorus is on a 6-bar loop, so most pop music, rock music, that sort of thing, tends to stick to 8-bar phrases generally. I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule, but generally 8 bars feels quite nice and even and round. But with this one, so close now, so close now, just where you want to be. Ollie had these kind of like this idea of, yeah, you're sort of repeating yourself, and you're almost getting where you need to get to, and you're working on it, but that unattainable goal, seemingly unattainable goal, far away. And I think, I sort of suggested, why don't we just, struggling to find lyrics or wasn't sure why the melody wasn't sitting right, so just chopped off the last 2 bars of the 8-bar phrase, a 6-bar loop that kind of, it trips over itself a bit. So we've got the drums, bass Dave's doing some real funky, tasty stuff. And then everything else, all the other backings are all these big stabs, big horn stabs, little guitar chugging. And that's all there really is. Oh no, percussion. Yeah, of course. Yeah, percussion's fun. So this is I can't remember what we were recording at that time, but someone dropped a metal grinder on the floor. It sounded kind of cool, so kept it in. I think it sounded cool by accident, and then we recorded a couple of other takes as well because it sounded quite nice. Cowbell, of course. Tambourine with lots of reverb on it is a nice sound that I quite like. So it all kind of comes together. With the shakers, of course. So that's the percussion in there, and then obviously the main feature of this whole tune is the big vocals. So
close now, just a little bit further.
Thick.
Don't think you get to know it.
So many layers, man. Look at all these layers. Ooh, look at all those layers. Ollie obviously laying down the lead.
So close now, just a little bit further.
With a nice little delay, 16th note delay. Ollie doing some backing vocals.
So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it.
Josh doing some BVs.
So close now, just a little bit further.
And some female energy.
So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it.
You're right where you're meant to be now.
That's too many layers. Can't deal with that.
So
All comes
close
together.
now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know
Loads of space.
it.
Loads of space for the vocals to cut through. And that comes around twice.
Still breathing. So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it. You're right where you're meant to be now. Nothing, and now we can hold us down while we're still breathing. The slow burn, the slight tightrope over Hawkins.
Yeah, then we're back into the verse, which is not much different to the first verse, other than there's bass in there now and the drums are doing things. And you know what? I'm going to admit to this as well. Let's take those out for a second. I couldn't work out what it needed. I was mixing it. It's like it needs something in this verse. It's not quite. It's a bit bland.
Slow burn, the slight tightrope over Hawkins turning.
It's all right.
These guts stuck in the back of my throat
It
concerning.
needs something. So what did I do? I pulled up Apple Loops, basically GarageBand kind of stuff. Nothing wrong with Apple Loops, but they do just come with Logic Pro. And yeah, I've used African Seed Caxixi number 5 and 6 and 8 and 4. Oh god, loads of them. And big maracas 6 and 8. So if I add those in,
Over the slide tightrope over Harco's turning.
bit boring.
These guts stuck in the back of my throat concerning. With the wide space will be.
There's a bit of energy, which is nice. Yeah, and then the big maracas come in later. I'll show you those. I'll show you those later. Why don't I? Cool verse, and then we add in a little horn pad halfway through.
Burning still, but where there's will, I try to learn the key, but still I rattle.
And the horn pad comes in sync with Ollie's vocals.
Where there's will, I try to learn the key, but still I rattle. The dust.
Very nice, guys. Well done. This is a nice little bit of reverse reverb on the vocals here.
Will I try to learn the key, but still.
Just brings that vocal in a bit. That gives it a bit of swooshing. I think we've got some more of that percussion going on again. Oh, there's glass. What's this? I think that was a bottle. Hitting a bottle. Yeah, I think so. Obviously Jake's dub siren magic. Loads of that sort of stuff. Just peppered in, just adding little details to the mix, to the production, just to keep things lively. Yeah.
Space to be rewound. This
Space to be rewound with a reverse delay on it.
final space to be rewound. There's sometimes I've
Had to be done. That's fun. Pre-chorus 2, got this little popping line and horn thing going on, which is quite nice. One of those.
the line when it's pouring rain and there's so few flowers in it.
Yeah, that bit, I like this BV. This is it's a good backing vocal.
Sometimes I've looked and I can't see light, but I'm so sure I've got a silver line when it's pouring rain and there's so few flowers and you feel that spring's running late. I'm sure she.
It's a nice moment, that. That's fine. Yeah, and then it goes into another chorus with a big dub siren swoosh. And the maracas are in here as well. Oh yeah, that was without maracas. Without maracas?
Sometimes I've looked and I can't see light, but I'm so.
With maracas.
Sometimes I've looked and I can't see light, but I'm so sure.
More layers,
I've
just
got
layers really. Right, let's go into the chorus.
I'm sure she'll find a way. So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it. You're right where you're meant to be now. And nothing in our way can hold us down while we're still breathing.
So the horns in this thing, there's two sections going on. There's this kind of backing section doing the ba-da, ba-da, laying down more of a rhythm section kind of vibe, and then there's the actual lines that sit on top. So that was quite interesting to write the horns in that way. And I've put a little filter on the horns the kind of chordal horns to let these ones poke out more. So if you listen to them on their own, they suddenly get less bright sounding. So you're tricked into believing that they're still there at the same thing, but actually they've been shoved underneath the horn lines. Loads more of this percussion stuff going on still. I think this chorus is kind of very similar. I think add a bit more backing vocals on maybe.
So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it. You're right where you're meant to be now. No, nothing in our waking. Hold us down while we're still breathing. So close now.
Yeah, there's another layer of vocals on that.
Hold us down while we're still breathing. So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it. You're right where you're meant to be now. No, nothing in our waking. Hold us down while we're still breathing. So close now, just a little bit.
Just a big section. The vocals just loop to the end now. That's it. That's why it's called Looper originally. And then the things that change around it are the chords and just the way it kind of builds up. So I'm going from one chord sequence to another. This little stop kind of thing. Stops chorus.
So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it. You're right where you're meant to be now. No, nothing in our waking. Hold us down while we're still breathing. So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it. You're right where you're meant to be now. No, nothing in our waking. Hold us down while we're still breathing.
And now we've gone a little chromatic, really kind of cheesy chromatic thing down to a new chord sequence, which is fun, slightly different, bit more tension. The chords are a bit closer together. There's less resolution. Feels even more like it's looping round. And then also underneath. So before, for the rest of the choruses in this tune, it's been very ba-ba, silence, ba-da, silence, apart from bass and drums and vocals, of course. But now we add in that synth from the top of the tune. That comes back in. Oh yeah, and it kind of, voicings wise, it gets gradually spreads up the keyboard, I think. So yeah, we start here. And then it gets to... And then it eventually gets to here. Oh no? Okay. Don't listen to me. What does spread out though, and I know that for a fact, is the horn parts. So we start here. And then we get to here. That's the same. Damn it. And then we get to here. There we are. And then we get to here. Slightly muffled because there's another horn line that's come in. And then the last chords. Big sound. The guitar, I think, gets a bit more and more involved as well. And then gradually it all fills in, so everyone's playing long notes right at the end. Yeah, just kind of gradually going from this ba-da, ba-da, to eventually just wah kind of thing. If you understand what I mean. Let's listen to the whole thing and see what you think.
Hold us down while we're still breathing. So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it. You're right where you're meant to be now. No, nothing in our way can hold us down while we're still breathing. So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it. You're right where you're meant to be now. No, nothing in our way can hold us down while we're still breathing. So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it.
Gang
You're right
vocals.
where you're meant to be now. No, nothing in our way can hold us down while we're still breathing. So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it. You're right where you're meant to be now. No, nothing in our way can hold us down while we're still breathing. So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it. You're right where you're meant to be now. No, nothing in our way can hold us down while we're still breathing. So close now, just a little bit further. Don't think you get to know it. You're right where you're meant to be now. No, nothing in our way can hold us down while we're still breathing.
Yeah, it's gradually just thickening up all the way through. And of course, gang vocals, which we couldn't do without. Sound great. With loads of delay, apparently. And then this little horn line here, which is quite nice, big moment. Big fanfare kind of thing. Yeah, that kind of sums it up really. I guess the drums gradually get bigger. These dub sirens get more and more. Everything just gets more until the very end. And that, I reckon, is Slow Burn broken down. Hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, check out some of the other ones. And we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.